Hi everybody, welcome to episode 5. In this episode we're going to talk about making seahorses. Seahorses are fairly easy to make. You just have to probably do the shape thing as in the stick figure, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. As usual, make sure you have a good eraser with you. You will be needing to erase on some stuff, so definitely have one with you. And pencils, I use an H class pencil, so this is the lightest one. Make sure you draw light, because there are going to be some parts that you are going to erase. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. So when you draw a seahorse, always start with the head, and I'm going to make a low round shape. Not like an oval, not a square, not just a circle, but just a low round. We're trying to make sure we have enough form for its head, so that's why we start there. Now the second part you just do is make a line. And as you saw, if you saw my dragon video, you make stick figures and then do a circle. In this case, you're just going to make a whole line go swerve. So and then we start down, give curve up, right there. And this is going to be its body. Now this will be the neck, the body, and then its tail. So that's why we just like to map it out. And this way you can make sure you know where your seahorse is going to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bubbles. And if you see in many drawing books, you know that bubbles are just little round circles, and they just give it the form and the muscles. For the body part, you're going to need to make sure you have a big one, and not full bubble, but kind of like in the middle, start giving a curve. So it's going to look something more like that instead, because you're going to go ahead and curve it. And then you can make two bubbles like right here, or you can just, trace it out. Bear in mind, you are going to erase some of this, so if you go over a line, it's fine. You are going to erase on some parts and add more texture to it. This lesson, we're going to start adding some more texture into our drawings. And this is a fairly easy design that we can do. So for seahorses, we're going to make a little nose, and this is its mouth. So it's kind of like a snort. So just give a little curve right there. Actually cut. For its nose, we're going to go ahead and add, just make a little curve over. Give it a little curve. And there we got its nose already. So we can go ahead and map that out. Now, this is where we're going to be using our eraser. So make sure you have it handy. You're going to erase the line and any other line that's that's covering over. So if you have like a shape inside, you're going to erase that part. And we're gonna kind of give it some more little form. We may have to go back to erase on it, and that's perfectly okay. So I'm going to give like a curve right here, and then another little curve. This way I know we're adding some texture to it. Now the textures, depending on the seahorse you're going to make, it can be a little smooth, it can be really rough, and it depends on its scales. For this one, we're just going to add not too deep of texture, not too much details on it. I mean, there's going to be details, but not a lot. We're not going to give it Rockies. We're going to kind of give it a little bit smoother. So what I did right there is I just added little lines onto my last form, and I can give part of the outside. As I usually say in most of my videos, that if it doesn't look exactly perfect and you get a little frustrated, it is okay. Okay? Because when I first started learning drawings, I will get frustrated. But it takes time. You just practice and you'll be better. For this part, I decided I add a little more texture and I'm going to give it more waves. So this part I'll probably erase in a bit. So but I want to add a little more. This way I know. And I probably will go back to it as well. And we can start right here. Add some of the scales. And they're going to go out a little bit, so do not worry if you go out of your line. And if it stays close inside, that's okay too. And they don't have to be as big as mine. They can be little. Like you can make more inside. When you are learning things, you can look up some pictures online if it does help out. Okay, when you're beginning, that's always okay. You know, if you're young, make sure you ask your parents' permission. You know, because it's always safe to make sure, have your parent look it up with you. And this also goes to anyone watching my videos. You know, always ask if you're still in school, or you know you're always ask your parents' permission. But if you're over 18, then you should be fine. Okay, so I've added the sketch text right there, and I'm going to start forming a little more of its head. So I'm going to give and then go up. Add a little eye. Now seahorses have just one pupil eye. If you go to aquariums, or like you say, pictures, usually their eyes are just pretty, a circle and then a dot, and that's usually their pupil. Again, like I said, every seahorse is different, every animal is different, so you know, if you see more with details on it, then try it out your way. There's many different like cartoon versions of seahorses, and you can do that. Now we're going to start with the fins on top, and we're just going to give a little basic, those curves right there. Make them a little wavy. Give it another connection right there. And these you can have a lot of fun with. You can make them big and wavy. You can make them short. You know, depending on the texture. Some of them are actually just vines. If I've noticed, I've seen some pictures that they have a little more vines. And then you can add another one right here. Then you can make connect a little, and then you can make like vines, like I said. So yeah, this is, and then we go back and we add. You can add little different lines into it to give it some texture. If you want to create more of a pattern inside, I've seen some art that have some patterns in it of seahorses. You can do that. I've actually seen some craft works where they made the entire part of it like rainbow. And I thought that was fantastic. Whoever did that, awesome job. It was just fantastic. Good work. Whoever did that. And this is where you can have all the fun inside. Now, seahorses do have a little flipper. I've seen some that don't, so that's up to you. But usually we're gonna make one with this flipper. And when I do that, I make the line go where. And besides, you can always go straight down, but I want to give some more detail on it. So we give it, add the shape and curve. So it's gonna look like this first. And then we do another one, give her a little wave. Curve, and I'm going to add more, a little bit more into it. Wave and curve. And then you can add texture to it, so we're going to make some texture with him. I say him, but maybe it's her, but we're going to say her. Or this model's a boy today. Maybe next one will be a girl. And we're going to add lines. And they're just simple lines, just kind of give there. And since we have a flipper over, we are going to kind of hold our pencil, go down, 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 and then we go down. This way we don't make too many lines, and we just give them. And we go slowly on the line. You don't have to go too fast. Just have some fun with it. And right around here we can, since we add the texture there, we can add another little circle line right there. Connect it. And for how we're going to add the texture. On this one, there's just simple little curved lines. So what I'm going to do is going to add a little up line like that. Then one right there. And as you see, I'm just using just a little of curved line. It's right there. And that's giving us some texture. Now try to keep the lines a little closer in. This way you know that they're not all over the place. So example, I don't want to have one right here, then one right there. And it can be, it's okay if you do, but do you want to add a similar closer, that'd be good too. That'd be one of the best. So, you know, it's always your drawing. You know, you decide, you make it unique. Okay? As I always say to a lot of many artists, especially the ones who start, there is no such thing as a bad drawing. It may look not the best to you, but you're always your own worst critic. I know I am. A lot of times, if you've seen me on some, I think even some of these videos, I kind of go back and erase and try to make it better. But that's just how artists think. you know, that's how every artist goes. And you can add little shades of texture, little shades. This way it gives it more of a rounded, more of shading, more structure, you know, value. That's more the correct term, value. So. And there we have it, and as I said, just add some. Usually it's always good when you do that. Find your light point. You can always make it like right here, and then shades it right there and show some of the more scales. And you can do this more with your coloring if you decide to color. It's always best that you get some color, this way you can you know, add the detail onto it. I think I just did my wing, so I can make it stand out a little more if you need to. Okay. Let me just erase that little part. And there you have it. You have full-on seahorse. If there's any questions, feel free to comment below and I will be gladly to answer. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Mr. Garza's Art Lessons, and thanks a bunch.